Hey everyone, so we continue episode 3 with Jenny, who's leaving for India in just a few days. She's celebrating an early Christmas with her family, and honestly, it's really emotional. You can tell how she's you can tell how she's close with her daughters and her grandkids, and everyone is struggling with the reality that she's moving across the world. Her daughter Christina asked the obvious question: how are Jenny and Sumit planning to keep this relationship going when his family doesn't even like her? And how do they expect to get married? Jenny responds by saying that, they'll just have to talk to a lawyer, maybe an immigration lawyer, someone who can help them figure this whole thing out. Her other daughter, Dominique, asks why Sumit's parents are so against this relationship. Jenny explains that his parents are mainly worried about society and what people are going to say back in India and how it reflects on their family. Christina then asks how this is even going to work since Sumit lives with his parents. Jenny explains that his family won't know about her because Sumit is planning to live elsewhere with her. Christina immediately asks, won't they visit him? And Jenny casually says that Sumit is telling his parents that he left Delhi to work in another part of India, which is Mumbai. And Christina's reaction, she goes, well, damn, that's a lie. We then get a talking head with Christina and Dominique, where they admit that they don't really know Sumit at all. Christina says that she's only spoken to him for maybe 5 minutes on the phone. She's worried that Sumit might panic under pressure and leave Jenny alone to fend for herself in a foreign country. Christina asks Jenny if she's afraid of what people will say about them as a couple. Jenny admits that she is worried. Dominique adds that in America, yeah, sure, people might talk, but it's whatever. But in India, could people actually do something? Jenny then explains that she's talked to Sumit about this and admits that, yes, she's scared that they could be harassed or even threatened with a weapon. That obviously makes her daughters even more concerned. They point out that if something happened to her and they couldn't reach her, they wouldn't even know who to contact. And honestly, I agree with them. Safety is a very real concern, especially in South Asia. But, you know, it's an unfamiliar country, so safety is always the number one concern. Jenny starts to realize just how big of a risk she's taking. Everyone around her is terrified for her safety, and the scene becomes really emotional. Christina worries what would happen if something went wrong? How would they even get Jenny back to the States? Jenny then says that she's already given everything up. She's come too far and backing out now feels impossible. She also talks about how hard it is going to be away from her family during the holidays. Christina points out that this isn't just a short trip, this is long term, possibly permanent. Jenny will miss milestones in her kids' and grandkids' lives. Jenny then says that she hopes that she'll be able to visit, and Christina says that since they truly love each other, she just hopes that Sumit can keep her mom safe. In Jenny's talking head, she says that she's getting older and now it's her time to be happy. She later admits that after seeing her daughter's reactions, she sometimes wonders if she's made a mistake, but she feels like she's already gone too far to turn back now, so all she can do is go and just hope for the best. It's finally the day that Jenny leaves for India. The movers arrive to pack her belongings, and it's really sweet watching her go through old photos and memories. She shares her fear that Sumit's family may pressure him to return home and that this is a huge risk for the both of them. Dominique arrives to take Jenny to the airport with her grandkids, and it's incredibly emotional. Jenny is leaving her home, her family, and her entire life behind to move across the world for a man she's only met a couple of times. Dominique asks if Jenny truly believes that this will work, and Jenny says that she hopes it does, and even though she knows it's going to be challenging. She just hopes it all works out at the end. You can tell Jenny is overwhelmed with all of this. She's leaving her job, her home, and everything familiar, but she is hopeful and is willing to risk it all for love. It is bittersweet. She's excited to be with Sumit, but saying goodbye to her family is heartbreaking. Dominique then says that she's always been extremely close to her mom and is still kind of in denial that all this is actually happening. They've cried about it, they've talked about it, but now it's real. Jenny says that she cannot wait to finally be in Sumit's arms again. And also, this is really funny, but you can you can tell that she's using Air India, and I don't know if you guys know, but there is kind of like a stereotype. If you guys don't know, you guys can search Air India on TikTok and all of it will come out. But yeah, going back to all this, she's excited. Jenny is excited. But let's be real. This is a massive sacrifice for a man. She's barely even spent time with him, in person. She's spent maybe I think she's mentioned maybe 3 weeks in person, but yeah, to do all this for someone you've only met a couple of times is a huge risk. We now come back to Sumit in India. He's excited because Jenny is arriving in just a few hours. He's found a place for them to live together, and his big task for the day is telling his parents that he's moving out. His excuse? He tells them that he's found a job in Mumbai. For context, Delhi to Mumbai is a 2-hour flight, a 25-hour drive, or an 18-hour bus ride. But in reality, he's moving to Gurgaon, which is about an hour by car or 25 minutes by bus from Delhi. So yeah, it is a bold lie. He's extremely nervous. The camera crew is left outside while he talks to his parents. And in his talking head, Sumit says that he's never done something like this before, and he just hopes his family believes him because Jenny is arriving soon and he needs to leave ASAP. An hour goes by and Jenny's about to land, and Sumit, he is still at his parents' house. The crew is worried. They try calling him, but he's not answering. We then cut to Jenny, who's been flying for 20 hours, which is absolutely brutal. And she finally lands in India. She's all smiles, excited, and can't wait. She can't believe that she's finally there. She talks about how excited she is to experience everything that she couldn't the first time she visited. So, she's all excited and she can't wait for her Sumi. She walks through the airport, eager to see Sumit, but he's not there. She waits. She calls him. No answer. In her talking head, Jenny says that they've been apart for 5 years and she's left her entire life in America to be here. And he's not even there to pick her up. She looks around completely alone, but he's not there. The episode ends with Jenny saying that she's terrified that Sumit's parents may have found out about them and stopped him from coming. If that's the case, she says she would be absolutely devastated. So that's where we end episode 3. And I wanted to just talk about the whole what will people say situation. So in South Asian culture, there is a phrase called there is a phrase log kya kahenge, which literally translates to what will people say. And according to Google, I just got this off Google, it reflects a deep-rooted cultural fear of societal judgment where personal choices about marriage, career, and lifestyle are often controlled by shame, guilt, and public image. And I just wanted to say that this mentality is still very strong, even in my own family, and it's incredibly hard to break away from. So, while a lot of viewers might not understand why this is such a big deal, culturally, it absolutely is. And I can tell that Sumit and his family is very like stuck in this log kya kahenge thing situation, right? Like, what would people say about Sumit being with a woman that's like literally double his age, right? um so it's, probably something to understand from a cultural standpoint, right? And yeah, that wraps up episode 3 of Jenny and Sumit. Let me know what you think. Are they being brave, reckless, or both? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to comment and subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.